Hello from Monaco. This tiny country is famous for many things, specifically expensive things, but what does it actually cost to eat here for a day? We're about to find out.
We're going to visit a mix of iconic and casual places to get a sense of if you really need to break the bank to eat here or if you do it at a regular, normal budget. And if you're new here, we're Alex.
Mehmet.
And Bindi's down here too. And we live in the south of France and travel around looking for the best food spots and dog-friendly destinations.
Let's go eat.
We're starting off the day here at Seaside Juicery. We really love this spot because they always have really good coffees as well as some healthy options. And for Monaco, the prices aren't really that bad.
Of course, we started with some coffees. And at €4 for a cappuccino, this is a pretty typical price for a good cup of coffee in Europe. Nothing extravagant. Mehmet got a really decadent acai bowl that was made to order and filled to the brim with really fresh fruits, lots of acai, and some granola and seeds. This bowl was €14, but considering how much was in it and how fresh everything was, it definitely seemed like a fair price. I went with a freshly squeezed juice that was bursting with ginger and citrus flavors, which I love. For about €6, this seemed like the normal price we'd pay for a fresh juice in most places. After breakfast, we took a stroll around and admired some of the less affordable things in Monaco before heading to lunch.
Breakfast was very good and not too pricey, so let's see how it goes at lunch now. We are heading to Giacomo, which is a restaurant from the Big Mama group, so they're kind of famous all over Europe for their good Italian restaurants, but also for being like very cute Instagrammy places. And this one is right on the beach, which I think might bring up the price a little bit, but let's go see.
Unfortunately, there was some construction happening on the beach, so we couldn't enjoy the amazing terrace view, but the inside of this place is pretty nice too. They had fried zucchini as a starter, which has become one of our absolute favorite dishes after we went to Greece last year. If you haven't seen our video in Halkidiki, you should definitely check it out. This one was different than other fried zucchini we've had. It was fanned out to make it really thin and light, but still super crispy and good. We were pretty hungry, so we also decided to order the focaccia, which we didn't realize was basically an entire pizza. It was huge, but the dough was freshly baked, making it light and slightly chewy, and was served with some really delicious olive oil. Mehmet loves truffles, so he couldn't pass up the special truffle pasta here. At €30, this is definitely a pricey bowl of pasta, but we do think it was worth it. They were generous with the freshly grated black truffle on top, and it had a lot of real truffle flavor. The pasta was also perfectly cooked, and the sauce was also rich and creamy without being too heavy. I went with the homemade burratelli, which is a pasta I've never tried before. It's kind of like a ravioli meets a tortelloni. The pasta was clearly freshly made. It was so delicate and light and filled with creamy stracciatella and ricotta cheese and a sauce made from fresh tomatoes and basil. It was really delicious. This plate cost €24, but given the quality, the skill, and the setting, it really didn't seem like too much. We were too full for dessert, but we finished up with 2 espressos before moving on to our next stop.
We're ready for another cup of coffee, and we're going to go to one of the most famous cafes here.
For our afternoon coffee, we had to head to Café de Paris, right outside the famous Casino de Monte Carlo. Now, I don't think this place is known for having the most amazing food ever, but it is a spot I think a lot of people will want to visit when they come to Monaco. So we figured we should give it a try, at least for a coffee. After checking out the menu, we were pretty happy that we decided to come here for coffee and not a whole meal. At €6 each for an espresso, this is definitely not a cheap spot. But you're paying for the setting. It's probably the best place for people watching in all of Monaco. As we were sipping our espressos, the weather started to get really nice, so we figured, for the sake of research, we'd order 2 glasses of wine and sit and enjoy it a little longer. The least expensive white wine on the menu was €12 a glass. Again, not cheap, but to sit in the sun here on this beautiful patio for a while, we felt it was worth it. Plus, they brought some crackers and olives to go along with the wine.
The weather here has finally gotten better. It was pretty cold this morning and now it feels like summer, so we're gonna go get some gelato because it's so nice out. We've got some gelato, we got Nutella and pistachio. It's very like airy. Not as like thick and creamy as gelato normally is. Gelato's fine, but it's definitely not my favorite. I know I'm picky when it comes to gelato, but for me it's just a bit like, it's not sweet, but like, I don't know, it's still a bit sugary, not like the nice creamy gelato taste I want. It's just about time for dinner, and of course there are lots of fancy upscale places where you could eat here, but we're not really dressed for that or in the mood for that today, and we're trying to see if that's really all there is here. I think we found a spot that actually should be a lot more casual and chill that looks pretty good.
And it looks like the F1 circuit goes right through there. We've come to Brasserie de Monaco for dinner. It is a bit early, it's about 6:15 p.m., meaning it is happy hour here. So some of the drinks are 50% off.
And maybe we weren't the only ones looking for an affordable meal, because this place was very busy and also felt pretty local. Since the city was preparing for the Monaco Grand Prix when we visited, the outside terrace was literally right on the track. It was so cool. We also came here during happy hour, which meant that our drinks, including their locally brewed beers, were half off. Mehmet tried one of their signature beers, which was light and refreshing, while I took the sunny weather as an excuse to order an Aperol Spritz. After some deliberation, we decided to share a pizza instead of each ordering something, and we were glad we did because this was a really good-sized pizza. The crust was freshly baked and it had tons of cheese on top. For 15 euros, this pizza felt like a pretty good deal.
So today is coming to an end. We're actually currently walking the Grand Prix circuit, which is crazy. And our dinner was actually, the table was on the Grand Prix circuit. We're sitting on the pavement, which is really, really cool. But now we are ending our day and
I'm heading back home, but I have to say, I mean, I think that some stuff was expensive today, but overall, like, not crazy bad. Dinner was 47 euros, which is not bad in Monaco.
I mean, 2 drinks and pizza is not bad at all.
Lunch was expensive. We had 2 starters. If we didn't get those, it would have been less. Breakfast, I think, was pretty average, and other stuff in between. I mean, obviously, Café de Paris is super expensive.
That was the most expensive thing we had today.
That's to be expected. So overall, I think you can come here for a day and like not spend a crazy amount of money.
So what was our grand total for the day? Breakfast was 28 euros, lunch about 87 euros, coffee and wine at Café de Paris, 36 euros, the gelato was 7.50, and the dinner was 27 euros. Bringing our total to just about 185 euros for 2 people, which is of course a lot for one day, but you can definitely cut it down by taking a few things out. And of course, if you're going to some of the really fancy places here, this total could be much, much higher. This is Monaco after all. We should mention that Monaco is also so dog-friendly. If you're taking the train here from a nearby city on the French Riviera, you can just buy a ticket in the SNCF app for your dog when you buy your own ticket, and then they can ride the train with you. Bindi got lots of attention here. She was especially loved by everyone during lunch at Giacomo, and people here seem to take their dogs with them almost everywhere. What did you think of Monaco's prices? Was it what you expected? Let us know in the comments, and we always appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. We have lots of exciting adventures coming up in the next few weeks. First, we'll be heading to Italy to start exploring some of the most famous food cities there, and then we'll be hitting up some of the best summer destinations in Europe. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.